So I'm back with another one. I'm back with another live. Like I said before, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's better to knock out these lives sometimes than trying to, you know, do a video, edit it, put it together, wait for it to load. Um, you know, it's like I said, putting together these videos are very time consuming. So I decided I'll do more lives, but I'm gonna do a two-part to this because I gotta say something that's gonna bother people, but it need to be said, and it's gonna ruffle some feathers what I say in the next video concerning Zion Williamson and basically his reckless, careless behavior. You know, a couple of weeks ago, Raven Simone revealed that anybody that dates her, they have to sign a NDA. And from what I hear, the same thing with Lori Harvey, that if you date them, you have to sign a NDA where basically you can't disclose whatever went on when you were dating them. Anything you can leak to the press. And unfortunately, with NBA players and athletes as a whole, they are not too bright and they can be careless and irresponsible when it comes to protecting their image and their assets. Like I said, say what you want to say about John Morant. I feel what's going on with Zion and other NBA players are how they're reckless and careless and how they waste their money. This is why they say a lot of NBA players are broke within a few years. You're looking at Zion Williamson, where basically this dude is basically then ruined his reputation because one, he had a woman that just couldn't keep her mouth shut, who basically airs out his personal business. This is why you need to make these women, and if you're a woman, make these dudes sign NDAs. They need to sign a NDA, confidentiality, and a sexual consent agreement. They're going to sign everything. And I'm telling you, athletes, you need to do all that stuff. So basically, you can't have incidents like this where this lady, Mariah Mills, is just running this man's name through the mud. And at the end of the day, I don't want to hear nothing about she a victim. She ain't no victim. This lady is a whore. And that's all it come down to. She a whore with an altered body. You can clearly see that she paid for her body. At the end of the day, instead of her just, taking her position and assuming her position, which was very lucrative because she saved the receipts where she getting wired $100,000 a month by Zion Williamson. $100,000 just to be somebody's plaything. And due to the fact that he impregnated somebody else, she all up in her feelings and upset, and she want to sit up there and tell the man's personal business. How can you sit up there and try to play a woman scorn and act like somebody cheated on you when you are a whore and you do porn? You have done porn. There's pictures and videos of you with something in your mouth that ain't food. But you sitting up there talking about, oh, I used to let him skeet in me raw. See, that's the key word. You let him. At the end of the day, you could have made him put on a condom. They have all kind of different type of contraceptives. They have shots you can get that can protect you from, certain type of diseases that you can get every three months. So ain't nobody trying to hear that. Don't try to say he put your life in jeopardy. It take two people. You played just as much. If you worried about your life, then why are you doing porn? Why did you do porn? So don't sit up here trying to wag your finger and play victim like woe with me. What's up? Like I said, This is what I'm saying, man, why I be trying to tell people that athletes are not role models. So like I said before, as I am walking around, this dude giving this woman 100 racks a month. And then this lady is like 10 years older than him. And then he went from terrible to worse. He sat up there and knocked up a stripper who has ties to Little Boosie, who already has a child, and she's like 8 years older than him. Like, how does that happen? And see, this is what happens when you don't have no guidance, no male role model in your life. Yeah, he have a stepfather, but at the end of the day, his stepfather didn't put him up on game. At the end of the day, this is what happens when you listen to dudes like Steve Harvey. This is why you don't pay guys like Steve Harvey about what women are the table. Nah, women ain't the table. So now this man is about to be a father and a stepfather because they saying that he wifed her up or whatever, or he gonna wife her up at age 22. This dude should be enjoying his money and living it up. But then you got two, and like I said, he was sitting up there kicking it with a whore, and then he wifed up and basically impregnated another whore. No disrespect, I'm just keeping it a buck. Who already got a child, and then you hearing rumors about her being some kind of scammer. This is why black men need fathers in their life. And then his stepfather, who's supposed to be his male role model, just sit up there saying believe half what you got. That baloney. That lady, every time you look around, this lady is airing out text messages, wire transfers, keeping proof. In all reality, it ain't about him, it's all about her. But just listening to this woman talk like she's some kind of victim. Like I said, lady, you a whore. You a whore. You are a whore. I mean, stop it. Yeah, so that's real talk. While Adam Silver is sitting up worrying about John Morant, who basically is a dude who had every right to exercise his Second Amendment rights, who, like I said, once again has broke no laws, once again hasn't been arrested for anything. This is what they should be worried about, having these type of women aligned with basketball players. At the end of the day, this isn't about Zion Williamson. This is about her. This is about her clout chasing. This is about her 15 minutes of fame, or should I say 15 minutes of shame and 15 minutes of being lame, because this chick is lame. And I'm trying to figure out how to, and that's what I'm saying. Rick James wasn't lying when he told Dave Chappelle that they should have never gave you niggas money. And at the end of the day, you want these young black men to be smart, but then they wind up finding themselves in situations like that because these dudes sit up here and they don't know how to basically exercise their right to be a man, because society is telling us, in particularly as black men, we don't have a right to stand up for ourselves and put our foot down. We just supposed to sit up there and take it. I need for you guys to understand, when you are the breadwinner and you are the man, and I'm going to say this again, when you are the man, is a difference between the man and the woman in the relationship. First of all, you are the one that should be able to call the shots. First of all, no woman ain't supposed to come around telling you what you supposed to do with your money, especially if you sitting on millions of dollars. At the end of the day, you're going to be like, I'm the man. You're going to assume your position as the woman. Whether you can sit up there and say that it's misogynist, whatever the case may be, but at the end of the day, that was the plan. Okay. You get men that sit up there, they doing all the hard work, and then you still got women that can't do nothing but just cause problems. Why can't these women be like Savannah James, LeBron James' wife? You don't hear a peep out of her. She just play her position. She keep her mouth shut. Why can't women be like them? Why can't they be like Juanita Jordan, Michael Jordan's ex-wife? You ain't heard a peep from her. She ain't wrote no books. She ain't went on no TV shows. But this chick that's involved with Zion Williamson threatening to go on TV shows and tell all his business wants to further humiliate this dude. At the end of the day, I watch these videos with these brothers that be pranking these gold diggers where they pull up and they have these exotic, erotic cars and stuff. And these women get in the car and have the audacity to talk about what they expect. First of all, like I said, if I'm the dude with the bread, no, you gon' nah, I'm calling the shots. I'm a boss, you a worker. And that's just real talk. And I know this is harsh reality, and I know some people don't want to hear this, but this is just real talk. Like I say, I come from them Oakland streets. I know all about people. You know, at the end of the day, whether it's productive to look up the pimps, a lot of pimps, whether you like it or not, they give us some good game on how to handle women. Now, I ain't for like putting them in the streets at the same time and all that kind of stuff. But then a lot of these women is for the streets. Mariah Mills is for the streets. And then the person that Zion Williamson chose to knock up is for the streets. I don't want anything that's tied to that coon Little Boosie. Because Little Boosie is a coon, and that's just the bottom line. He is straight up coon. I wouldn't, like, for real. It's funny how you get these videos where these women make videos talk to these black women, talk about, well, they're not going to settle and they have all these guidelines. And I laugh at some of these ridiculous women that go on Kendra G's show and some of these other, and go on the Pineapple show that have all these ridiculous demands. Oh, he need to make 200. Why? Like I said, you ain't getting none of it. Oh, he need to have this. Why? It's mine's. It's funny how women can set guidelines, but we can't have no guidelines. We can't have no standards. We just supposed to take and settle for anything. But they talking about that they're not going to settle. So Zion Williamson should settle for what he got now. If I'm Zion Williamson, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I would get rid of that chick. I would set up child support payments and visitations and keep it moving. And worry about my NBA career, because at the end of the day, based off what he decided to procreate with, and then based off him having a runchy side chick whore, his options is not looking very good right now. And first thing, as soon as that baby is born, I'm getting a DNA test. And I'm not worried about no whores coming on here, no whores or no thought pockets coming on here saying, why am I worried about how he spent his money? Because I want to. And why you worried about what I say on my channel? Of course, a whore is going to side with another whore. And it's just time to just keep it moving and keep it pushing and keep it real. Zion Williamson need to get rid of that chick for his image and for his own his own sanity. All that's gonna happen is, and that lady don't care about him. That lady saw him as a lick. She saw him as a check. That lady probably gonna try to have one or two more kids by him, and she gonna leave him. And then she gonna take the $75,000 a month that she gonna get in child support and get with some nigga from the streets, and sit up there and be blowing it on him. She gonna let him drive the car that Zion Williamson paid for with his child support, because women like that, they don't like dudes like that. Unfortunately, our community can be very toxic and ass backwards, because this is how a lot of women think. And that's why I don't be paying attention to a lot of these women. I don't pay attention to the Cynthia G's of the world and her cronies and them type of people. Because like I said, Cynthia G talk all this shit about black men, but yet black men was the ones that put her on. Same thing with what's that lady's name who was on the Breakfast Club? Ebony K. Williams. She talk all this stuff about blue collar workers, but then her mother was a blue collar worker. But then at the same time, she talking about she have high expectations for black men, but then she was engaged to a white man. So at the end of the day, how you gonna sit up there and have standards? You couldn't even keep a white dude. What happened to your white fiance? And why you not an attorney no more? Must have not been a good attorney. So I'm just saying. And then Cynthia G called black men all these derogatory and disrespectful names. But like I said, Dr. Boyce Watkins, Phil, and brother Phil, and a couple of other people put her on. It was black men that actually introduced her and help, and help elevate her and help, bring some notoriety. And then look what she did. And then the funny thing is, she talk all this stuff about black men, but she sat up there and got knocked up by a dude that had multiple kids by multiple women, and some of his baby mamas wasn't even black. And then you have women that follow her, and you dumbass women that follow Cynthia G. Something is seriously wrong with you, and you can send it to Cynthia G. because ain't nobody scared of her. And then I heard the dude that she got knocked up by is sitting up in jail. So the very type of person that she told women to stay away from, she got knocked up by one. But then people listen to her. Go figure. So, like I said before, now you're seeing the intellectual side of town biz. Like I said, I didn't dealt with women all my life. At the end of the day, I remember some of the things that went on, unfortunately, when I was growing up. I don't want to get too personal, but like I said before, at the end of the day, Zion, to a certain degree, I fault his stepfather for not basically explaining to him how some women get down. Every woman ain't a prize. Every woman ain't a plus. She can be a minus. And the same thing with dudes. There's some dudes, like I said, yeah, there is dudes that ain't about nothing. But at the same time, what about the women that ain't about nothing? There were plenty of women that Zion could have chose to, date and marry and possibly procreate with. But why this type of person? Why would you impregnate a stripper? And I don't want to hear this stuff about, and you can say this stuff about, oh, you just don't, this is the problem with black families and all this stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with black families. Look, you can get with a black woman that isn't a stripper or a porn star. There's plenty of black women out there that's doing other productive things to earn a living. Not no damn Instagram model, and not, bands to make her dance, and not working at Magic City. Okay? Can we please stop the crap? Can we please stop capping? Can we please stop playing these kind of games? That's just real talk. A lot of times people just don't want to hear the truth. Obviously, Zion Williamson's stepfather failed as a father, because I know he's supposed to be some kind of pastor. But at the same time, you can teach your kids about looking and seeking a good woman. Don't sit up there and settle for a woman just because she a woman. Okay? You're not just supposed to just take anything. And the problem is that I see with black men have been conditioned to not value themselves and not value other black men. We have some serious problems in our community, and Zion Williamson is proof. That's his behavior is disturbing. This dude is sending her text asking her how much do she think, basically making his bank account just pretty much open to her. He might as well have gave her access. He might as well gave her a joint bank account, talking about how much do you think. I mean, he don't even know how to keep it PI. He supposed to be like, hey, look, I'm gonna give you 40,000 or whatever, and you gonna do this, you gonna do that. But no, at the end of the day, he being controlled by these women. How you gonna sit up there and tell somebody how much you think it'll cost? Like I said, this dude don't have no guidance. But like I said, this is what happens when this is what happens when you give, unfortunately, dudes like Zion Williamson access to large amount of money. You have to get these dudes. You have to prep them. You have to have preparation for these dudes, because this is the thing. This is what happens when you make X amount of money. And like I said before, Zion Williamson, you have to question what's going on with his career, because keep in mind, Zion Williamson has been in the league like 4 years, and Zion Williamson has played, I could say Zion Williamson may in his career played less than, in 4 years, Zion Williamson may at best played 80 total games. And that's disturbing, because he can't stay healthy. And then not to mention, he can't keep his weight down. So when Zion Williams ain't tricking off his money, he's sitting up at the local barbecue or, the local, crab shack, possibly eating himself out the NBA. So yeah, I told you I'm real with mines. I'm talking, this dude literally got with 2 women that's for the streets, from the streets, in the streets, gonna go back to the streets. Like I said before, I don't know who, I'm talking about that Mariah Mill lady. She got some kind of nerve sitting up here playing victim. Like I said, talking about you jeopardize my life, like going up and meet, but you let them do it. So obviously you wasn't thinking about it. Come on now, you got to think to yourself. Don't be naive. And you jeopardize his life. You jeopardize his life. Remember, you used to have sex for a living. You have an OnlyFans. What about his life? I just think that this lady is laughable and she delusional. And like I say, she's showing, oh boy, I'm gonna save that for the next video. I'm gonna say what I was finna say about her for the next video, because we finna have another real conversation about something that that is always thrown towards black men. Trust me. I couldn't believe this lady sitting up here trying to act like she just been dead so wrong. Like I said, lady, you a whore. I mean, do you know how easy it was to Google this lady and find pictures of her? It's all kind of pictures and videos of her doing you know what. And I'm just laughing at the fact she recently, I think, tweeted talking about that she missed her period or something like that. So saying, and then she threatening to go on talk shows and all this kind of stuff. So like I said, Adam Silver, he need to be more worried about what's going on with Zion than what's going on with John Morant, who was exercising his Second Amendment rights. And people sitting up saying, why we worried about him having a baby by somebody like her, because we already know what type of woman he dealing with. Like I said, this lady like finna get 1 or 2 more kids out of him, and then she gonna leave him. How many times have you seen this? Like I say, chicks like her don't like dudes like Zion Williams. They see them as a paycheck, as a lick. The same thing that's going on with that basketball player who played for the Sacramento Kings, where he won custody of his son, and basically the chick ran off to Georgia after he won sole custody, and she refuses to give him his son. She won't let him see his son, and she's sitting up there poisoning his son, talking about she feared for her safety. And what it was, the alimony ran out because he was married to her less than 10 years. So he got sole custody. So basically he don't have to pay her child support. And of course, she did the typical, she feared for her life. He threatening her and all this stuff. She going around filing frivolous domestic violence cases against him that been thrown out in Los Angeles and in Sacramento. And she ran to Georgia. Then she tried to insinuate that he paid the judge off, and the judge is a retired, well-respectable judge. So like I said before, I don't always be paying attention to some of the stuff that these chicks be pulling. But for real, this is what happens. So, it had to be said. Hey, dude, block that dude, Pablo Fish. Block him immediately. Sorry, no trolls allowed. No trolls allowed. Kaboom. You're gone. That's what happens when you have stupid people. But anyway, he not finna interrupt the flow of the stream. Like I said before. I'm really worried about Zion because, like I said, these two women are much older than him. One of them is like 8 years older than him. The new BM, she like 30, and then Mariah Mills is 32. And like I said, even if Mariah Mills was to get pregnant, based off the fact that she has all that plastic and had all that surgery shit, it's a chance that baby could be in some kind of danger, could have some kind of defect from her having all that plastic surgery and those fake boobs and all, and those butt implants. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that I'm gonna get to that in a minute, because that's gonna be a very difficult subject. But I'm gonna do a live on that following this stream. But this is why guys like Zion Williamson, this is why I keep saying to black men, like, we need to like volunteer to be role models to these young guys. And at the end of the day, listen, if Zion Williamson wanted to talk to me, I'll talk to him. I'll school him. And I'm not telling him to have vitriol and that kind of stuff. But like I said, at the end of the day, he's lowering his standards. He's lowering his standards. He's settling for less. Okay? He's settling for less. And like I said, due to the fact that he should have made that chick sign an NDA. But like I said, the nerve of that chick, to sit up there and try to shame this dude and try to play victim, like she just didn't, like she did so wrong. Oh, he's putting my life in danger because I let him go up and be wrong. Like I said, that's the key word. You let him. So obviously you don't have no problem with it. So just okay, just stop the cap. Just stop the cap. It need to be said. First of all, Shaquille O'Neal need to shut his ass up. Shaquille O'Neal ain't in no position to say nothing about nobody. Shaquille O'Neal sitting up there being spotted with another whore, who sat up there, who made videos about how to trap an athlete. That's what I'm saying. Shaquille O'Neal need to just shut his mouth up. Shaquille O'Neal can't tell nobody nothing, and Charles Barkley can't tell nobody nothing. Who in the hell would listen to Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley, two of the biggest hypocrites and coons out there? Like I said, man, I don't know how many times I got to say this. Athletes are not role models, and particularly for black men. Like I say, Shaq talk all this stuff, but then Shaquille O'Neal, he like to be spotted with thoughts. He like to be spotted with thoughts, and allegedly has a infatuation with feces and urine. But that's your role model, Shaquille O'Neal, aka Colonel Doodoo. You know, laughable. Well, like I said before, I stand by what I say about Shaquille O'Neal. I'll tell Shaquille O'Neal right to his face, and I'll tell Charles Barkley right to their face. Like I said before, Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley, they seem to have this thing and this theme where they love to have all this heat for black dudes. But like I said, they don't say nothing about anybody that isn't black. They love to come down hard on black men, but then they don't say nothing about these other dudes. They didn't have nothing to say about Dana White. Nobody said nothing when Chris Kaman was making videos showing high-powered weapons. Nobody had nothing to say when Chris Kaman had videos of him shooting up abandoned cars. But then all of a sudden, everybody worried about John Morant having a damn weapon. Man, get out of here. Like I said before, that lady is a clout chaser. She looking for 15 minutes of fame. And like I said before, Zion Williams, his father failed him. One thing about my son, when we had these conversations, I have to have real direct conversation, like saying, don't get caught up with these women. And like I said before, ain't nothing wrong with Zion Williamson getting married and settling down and having a family, but not with somebody like that. Like I said, you 22, and you sitting up here finna be taking care of a woman and a baby that don't belong to you, because of course she gonna be requiring that you do something for her child that don't belong to you, which you not obligated to do. And that's just real talk. So everybody is finna benefit. So I'm just saying, sorry that I hit people with the truth serum, but it is what it is. Anyway, appreciate you guys being here. I'll be back in 20 minutes with another video or stream, whatever you want to call it.